technically the third video of my day. I have not went to bed yet. Where I'm at, it is about 1:30 in the morning. So, but the first video was Silent Hill, the short message, and then Resident Evil 3 playthrough part 2. So this is part 3 of the Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. So let's continue. I can honestly say that I have not been doing the best on this. Every time it seems like I'm always having to redo races because I am not the best at this game. I love playing it. I remember getting the original. It was one of the first games I ever owned. And in fact, I got it from my grandpa. Can we switch that? Options. Here we go. Gameplay. We want alternate. Okay, that's better. We've already beat him. I'm trying to follow on the map where I'm back here. But yes, I can remember getting this game. If I haven't told the story before in the last couple of videos, we had a Blockbuster where I live, or at least in the town close by where I lived. So we were able to go over there, and Blockbuster had Crash Team Racing, the original one, for sale. And I'd seen it there quite a few times before actually getting it, but I think I had to do a couple chores or something like that to get some money. Well, it's not really get money. I asked my grandpa for the game, and he said, I'll get it for you if you do a couple chores. And the chores, I think it was like $5 to $15 or something like that. Maybe 20 at most. And I had a blast. I actually don't remember what happened. I'm gonna get flattened. Yep. Oh, I'm trying to use them to get. Oh, hey, that was a douche move. I'm more than happy with the missiles this time. I'll say that right now. Yeah, give me a second. Ah. I gotta retry. Oh, and I'm gonna bounce into that, aren't I? Yep. Oh, I was doing so good too. Get moving. You can win this. Come on. Yes! I'm not tiny, it passed me. I gotta say, every time I've played this game, like for the story mode purposes, I always play as Crash. So I can't see myself being, Cortex. Not unless I have to be. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see myself being one of the villains. I could see myself being Coco.
Congratulations. You win a trophy.
Who else is on the hero's side? You know what I mean? Like, because you didn't get Crunch till... he wasn't introduced till Wrath of Cortex. And by the way, I love that game. I don't care what anybody says. That was a fantastic game, in my opinion. And you gotta cut Vicarious Visions. I think that's who did it. You gotta cut them some slack. It was the first, Crash game on PlayStation 2. It also branched over to Xbox and I think GameCube also, but you gotta give them credit for what it was. It was a clone of Warped. I will say that. The controls were all the same, and it didn't really introduce anything new besides the elemental masks and Crunch, but they did a fantastic job with it. But Crunch was not introduced till then, so unless it might have been Polar, Pura, that's probably who it was, which are more or less side characters, which is fine. Have problems around that time. Cortex, you douche. These people are douches. Really, man. I'm pretty sure I've said this, but in case I haven't, I do feel like they should have added the Nitro part story to this game. Granted, they have not introduced Crunch, but they did add him as a DLC. Well, not really DLC, but a downloadable character. Whether that's DLC or not, considering he is downloadable. I guess it would be. Okay, so he is a DLC character. How would that I feel like, hey, that's the first race I think I've won. No, actually, there may have been one or two. I'm trying to think. Because since adding 4 to it, I guess they could do 4, and then Wrath of Cortex, and then Twinsanity. I really don't like 4. 4 I thought went way out there. Like, it's not really even a Crash Bandicoot game with how difficult it is and the way the game plays out. Because in the original Crash Bandicoot games, you had a certain amount of lives, and once those were done, that was it. You had to restart the level, right? But in Crash 4, you could do it the regular way, or you could do it unlimited amount of lives. Which I feel like that is not too much like Crash, I'm gonna be honest. But the way the levels are designed and the difficulty of it, it's not a Crash game. They could have literally made a whole new IP. And I would have been aggravated with the game. But I would not have been as mad as I was. Because to me, that was not a Crash game. They were going to add Crash 4 to it. They could do Crash 4, Wrath of Cortex, and then Crash Twinsanity. And that could have made like the second trilogy. And if they remake Twinsanity, can we get like the full version? Come on, guys. I feel like Twinsanity would have been a whole lot more successful if it had that stuff. Even though I love Twinsanity the way it is. I mean, that game is just crazy. Oh, I could have made that. In case you guys are wondering, you can jump over that if you are fast enough. Was not fast enough on that, on this lap. I just failed. And I got a second one. Probably should have saved that. Well, who knows? I might get a couple of the Aku Aku masks. Or is it Uka Uka masks? That name always. You know, obviously with 1 and 2, you didn't have to worry about what the name was. Now you do. But yeah, we need a full version of Crash Twinsanity. We need a remake of Wrath of Cortex. And with Crash 4 just coming out semi-recently, you know, within a few years, I can't see a remake happening. I'm gonna be completely honest. Nor have they announced anything like it or anything like that. But I personally, I love the story of it. I don't like the difficulty. That is my whole thing. I even like the masks to a degree. I think they're interesting. But when you have to flip the screen upside down, you know, to a point where you can't see where all the boxes are or anything like that, and you know, it's pretty much like a death fest. That's an issue. If I was the developer, I would not have done that. I'm not going to redo this race. Saw that coming. I would have been like, nah guys, we need to change this up. The level designs need to be different. I mean, I can honestly say I was so hyped when Crash 4 came out. Because I was so excited to try it. The one thing I had you know, against it at that time was the design. I thought Crash, the Insane Trilogy was perfect. I really did. And then they changed the designs of the characters. And I'm like, this does not look like it. That's another reason why Crash 4 needs to get remade. Because the designs themselves do not fit in with Crash. Neither did the design for Crash from, you know, Crash of the Titans or Crash Mind of the Mutant. Those designs didn't fit it. But I enjoyed those games immensely more, well, at least Crash of the Titans, immensely more than Crash 4. And the sad thing about it is I would have enjoyed Crash 4 a whole lot more if they had not put the difficulty up so much. Oh, you douche! Oh, okay. As I said, I don't know if I can get the T key off of Crash in time. Ah! I did it! They're like right behind me. Oh, made a mistake, and that's gonna cost me. Well, somebody got hit. You smart about it? No! Ah! That's aggravating, and all because I made that tiny mistake. The race is pretty much over at this point. I'm gonna have to redo it because of my... Oh, crud. Third place again, I think. Wait, no, maybe I was way back there. Either that or I was in third. Yeah, that is my gripe with Crash 4. The designs and the difficulty. It is honestly a beautiful game. But I cannot handle a game when I'm constantly Well, one, it's supposed to be something, and it does not resemble anything of what I'm expecting. And then when the game is just killing you over and over and over, it's like a Dark Souls game, but with Crash Bandicoot. And it's not even the enemies that are killing you all the time, it's the actual level. It's the platforming. Don't get me wrong, the enemies do kill you too, but I can remember a level towards the end. I forget what it's called, but it's like when you're chasing, and this is a spoiler, but if you haven't got the game now, it's been out 3 or 4 years at this point, something like that, then I mean, you might want to skip ahead in the video or something. So this is me warning you. I don't know how long I'm going to be talking about it either, but it shouldn't be too long. But it's like when you're chasing Cortex after he's stolen, what, all the masks or something? I think it's all the masks. It's either all or just one. But he's like stolen at least a mask, and you're having to chase him before he can go back in time to undo his original plan to change Crash. Again, I think the story is fantastic. Whoever wrote it deserves a medal for that one. But it's it just needed more work or something. Right. I'm guessing it was Coco that did that. I don't know for sure, but okay. Second or third time and I did it. Okay. That's not bad. Anyway. I don't know. I'd have to think. If I was designing a Crash game, I would have to think about how I would want it played out. Any developer would, but I'm sorry, this is just a random idea. Like, if I feel like fans of the series would be very hard to please. I'm a fan of the series myself, so I can honestly say if they're gonna make a Crash game, I'm gonna be definitely watching and seeing what, you know, if I like the game or not. Which anybody does that, but it's like I said, what I'm expecting. I would be watching the game to see if it's what I'm expecting. So yeah, they should They should make like a sequel to the Insane Trilogy that includes Crash 4, Wrath of Cortex, and Twin Sanity, and then they should make a racing game that includes well, because they've already kind of done it. Because they made this game, but they didn't add the story to Nitro Kart, and they did not add tag team racing at all. So the question is, do you remake this again, or do you add those two things to this game? Of course, they've made the tracks for Nitro Kart, but they've modified them to fit with this, so you don't have to do the kart transformation. If you've played Nitro Kart, then you know the transformations. They have some pretty cool transformations. I'll just say that. Or they could even try to make a new racing game and try to fit in with it. I just don't know why, if they were going to put in the effort to do that, you know, add those tracks in, why modify them, and why not add the, just the story, too? It's pretty much Crash Team Racing, but with kart transformations and not really anything else. Might be some more power-ups and stuff, but I think they've even added some characters from most of the characters from Nitro Kart, and I think they've added some from Tag Team Racing. So why would you do that if you're not going to add those tracks? Because there was some fun ones on Tag Team Racing too. I think he's a little too far ahead. He's already... I need something else to be able to get to him. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna win this one. He's going around the last turn right now. Slow him down for a second, but he'll get moving before I can... Yeah. There he is. Okay. So I have to redo it. What just came out? I was thinking, well, of course, The Last of Us Part 2 got a remaster recently, and that came out just a few years ago. So, probably what I would do is just course, Xbox now owns Crash Bandicoot. For anybody that doesn't know, Xbox owns Activision now, so Crash Bandicoot is technically Xbox, which is wild. Think about it. But I would probably just remake them again. The only difficult part is because Crash Tag Team Racing, it had to be one thing where you could actually walk around. So yeah, it was quite a bit different from the regular racing ones. So, what would they do with that? Because there was a substantial story mode with it, which was awesome. You got a whole bunch of costumes, you got a lot of stuff. Right. So, obviously, I feel like you would have to redo the story. Third place kind of sucks. Because you don't get the good stuff. You get the crappy stuff. A little too far ahead. I think what I would do is I would take a look at, if I was making a new Crash game, I would take a look at first 3 games, and Twinsanity, and then most people might not like this, but I take a look at Crash of the Titans. The designs and stuff were different, but the mutants aspect was really cool. I don't know how it would work, but I would look at those 5 games and try to take things in and out of that. And then the only other game that is left to talk about is really, because, let's be honest, Crash Team Racing worked. It was a good competition to Mario Kart. Redo this again. But, one game that they did try to do, and this was not Naughty Dog, this was some other company or something. So, Crash Team Racing was Naughty Dog. It was the last game I think that that Naughty Dog did for Crash, and it was highly successful. It was like the one true rival to Mario at the time. So, but then another company did like a Mario Party-esque thing, which was called Crash Bash, and I guess it did okay, but it wasn't like trying to challenge Mario Party. So I would, instead of remaking Crash Bash, I would bring it back as a new game, not remake it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would try to, think of ideas to rival Mario Party. Because that idea is genius. Check something. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. How far ahead is the engine? Okay. I want to be like, nothing I can do! But yeah, like, Crash Bash is like the only game I feel like I don't feel like Wrath of Cortex failed, nor do I feel like Twinsanity failed. They were great for what they were. Okay? With Wrath of Cortex being like, I don't know how to describe it. Wrath of Cortex being the first game that was not developed, like first main game that was not developed by Naughty Dog. Okay, I'm not talking about the people that did Crash Bash. And then Twinsanity was a completely different take on it, but like so wacky, I feel like it worked. There's not another game in the series where you're gonna see Crash using Cortex as a freaking snowboard. Okay? If you haven't seen that, it's freaking awesome and hilarious. Okay? It's just wild. Why did I turn that way? I'm gonna have to redo this one. This one is gonna be probably one of the hardest races in the game. I feel like there's only a couple more that are gonna be like this. Engine is so far ahead, I'm gonna have to redo it. No doubt about it. But yeah, nothing screams like 3D platformer Crash to me like Twinsanity. Say what you want, but that game is insane. Which is what Crash is. Okay? And then the way they make the jokes in that one, like, they make fun of themselves by referencing Wrath of Cortex. Like, if they do remake Crash Twinsanity, I want all those jokes in it. But I want, like, the full game, not something that's not completely made. I want the developers to take their time with it and make it what it was supposed to be. I would not mind if Xbox hired the original people, or at least as many people as there was on the original team, you know, that are still there, I would not mind if they hired them back just to finish the job. And do it right this time. I love the fact that Twinsanity was the first game that introduced Janina Cortex. Which, again, she was a downloadable character for this game. I don't remember if I unlocked her character on one of my other profiles or not, but she was a downloadable character. So, they could have, you know, done tag team racing on this. They even, if I remember right, they even have the announcer chicken from Tag Team Racing. I just don't care. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. If you've not played Crash Twinsanity, I highly recommend it. You will never get an experience like that again. You know, playing it the first time is insane. But if they do remake it, it has to be after they do Wrath of Cortex. Otherwise, none of it is going to make sense. At least for people that have never played it. And some of the game may not even, you know, make sense for people that have played it if they 100%, you know, 100% remake the game. What it was supposed to be. I think I just ran over Engine's head. Okay. So yes, I 100% think that at least Wrath of Cortex and Twinsanity need to be remade. They deserved their time to shine. Again. But what I will say is Wrath of Cortex needs to be rethought out too. I love the premise of the game. Get a few new power-ups. And for the love of God, redo the levels. You know, fix them up. There's a few levels in the game where it seems a little funny. Like, they use bosses like Tiny and stuff like that in wrong spots. There's some where you're in like this ball-like vehicle, and you're running across Tiny and them, and it's like they could have literally have used you know, the lab scientists for those spots. It would have made so much more sense. I'm just saying, why use those characters in that spot? Of course, when I played it originally, so much more so much younger, and didn't even think about it. It was just a game to me. But now that I'm older, and in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to school to be a video game artist. But I have to do other classes and stuff, so I get to think about stuff like, you know, what makes up a level. Anyway, but, so yeah, now that I've done other stuff, like go to school and stuff like that, yes, I think about this stuff. And I finally beat the level, or the race, thank God for that, the 5th or 6th time. But, yeah, honestly, I would take some of those vehicle levels out, and I would just... Some levels would be in there, some levels wouldn't be. That's all I would say. Because, honestly, there was too many vehicle levels.
Let's race.
I love how, because I don't remember there being too many cutscene-like things in the original game. I love how they added them in this one, if they aren't in the original. And as for the elemental masks and Raptor Cortex, I would try to get those voice actors back, but they need a bit better writing. Oh. How do you get a Nitro? Does he have all... That was good aiming right there for me. Oh, crud. It worked out. This. I'm not gonna jinx myself. I'm thinking something and. And that's where I mess up. I was thinking, man, I got some good aim or something on this, because they hit him with a 2 or 3 things that... What? Screw your Nitro. The problem with it is the bosses in this game are, you know, they get continuous item drops. We're gonna have to redo this one too. Yep. He already crossed it. Okay. So, oh yeah. If I made Crash 4, there would not be an infinite number of lives. So on Classic, it would be quite a bit less difficult. We still want it difficult, but we don't want it like so difficult that it's like a deathmatch. We don't want a Dark Souls Crash Bandicoot game. And that's what Crash 4 was. And we would go with a classic design. Not the Twin Sanity. Speaking of that, I would go back to the original design for all of the games, actually. It's a classic look. I don't think it needs to be changed. Okay? It's like Laura Croft. But she does get like minor changes for the most part. I will say though, I feel like her design fit more than some of Crash's. What a douche. And his explodes. What the fudge? Usually when you get Nitro, it, you know, you just poop it out, I guess you could say. It doesn't explode when it hits the ground either. I get it? Yes. Thank you. For the love of God, thank you.
You're not so slow after all. Surprised me, you did. Here's a key for the win. Still, I think you're not fast enough to outrace Oxide. We're going to lose our planet, and it'll be all your fault.
I don't remember there being cutscenes like this when the game originally dropped. Which is strange, but maybe there was. Anyway. Well, we got that. Mustard. Anyway, so we're gonna save it. Save. I'm gonna save it one more time, just to be sure. Does show 3 keys, which is awesome. Anyway, so in the next video for this, we'll be going to it's like Cortex's castle. I would say it's not Cortex that we're facing though. So if you thought Cortex was going to be like the boss of this area, it's not him. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. If you do one or both, then you guys are amazing. Don't forget about the notification bell. If you hit the notification bell, you'll have the option to see all the videos I post when I post them. And finally, don't forget to comment. I would like to read what you guys have to say, or want to say, whatever it is, whether it be that you want to see me play a specific game, or that you would like to see me drive. Well, not really drive, but try to get all the gems and CTR tokens and stuff in this game. But yeah, I'd like to see that stuff. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.